Everyone likes to rip on companies like Bethesda, EA, and Activision for their nefarious dealings, but who could forget Konami? Good old Konami. Once known for franchises like Metal Gear Solid, Dance Dance Revolution, and Silent Hill, it's since focused more on mobile games and pachinko over the years, raking in tons more revenue. But what are some of the embarrassing and downright scummy things the publisher wants you to forget? Well, let's take a look. E3 2010 Presser. Do you remember Konami's E3 2010 presser? Like, really remember it? It had masked luchadors wrestling, the creator of Dance Dance Revolution attempting to dance, that one guy who stood around menacingly, and producer Takfuji trying to build up hype for 1 million troops in 99 Nights 2. It was incredible in all the worst ways, and is probably why Konami has never really held an E3 presser since. Silent Hill HD Collection. Silent Hill HD Collection offered remastered ports of Silent Hill 2 and 3 for Xbox 360 and PS3 fans in 2012. Sounds good, right? Except Konami had lost the original source code for the games. This meant changes to the art, though the resolution was updated, and redubbing Silent Hill 3's voices since developer Hijinks Studios had to deal with incomplete versions of both titles. The result was an underwhelming mess, propped up only by the strength of the gameplay. At the time, Konami was still a force to reckon with, so this kind of shoddy port came off as surprising. Excessive employee surveillance. In August 2015, a report from Nikkei was published that talked about Konami's working conditions, and to say that they were terrible is an understatement. Cameras kept a constant eye on employees. Randomized email addresses are provided every few months to employees, presumably to control communication. Took too long on a lunch break? Well, expect to be shamed publicly for that. But there was more. Punishing underperforming developers. The same report also talked about how Konami treated useless developers. If you weren't performing up to standards, then there was the possibility of being shifted to a different job in the same division. Sometimes, an employee would be demoted to jobs like janitorial duty, working in the patchy slot factory, or even a security guard. These punishments were doled out to all kinds of staff as punishment. It didn't matter if you were new or working with the company for years. Removing Kojima's name from Metal Gear Solid 5 marketing. It all started with rumors of Hideo Kojima, longtime director and employee for Konami, apparently leaving the company. Soon these rumors turned into reports of Konami firing Kojima. Whether true or not, what Konami did do was removed Kojima's name from the marketing materials for Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes, and The Phantom Pain. This was described as shifting our production structure to a headquarters-controlled system, or some such nonsense. Separating Kojima from the development team. Reports then began to emerge about the troubled development of Metal Gear Solid 5. Because of too much time and money spent, Konami was rushing Kojima's team to finish The Phantom Pain. It also took some extreme measures. According to Jeff Keighley, Kojima was kept in a separate room on a separate floor for the final 6 months of development. Direct communication with his team was forbidden and only done through another person. All of this sounds more like Konami's punishment tactics, honestly. Firing Kojima. Eventually, Kojima would depart from the company, though Konami simply said he was taking a long time off from work. While the man himself said nothing about all of the rumors, it was fairly obvious that he wasn't gone of his own free will. Regardless of how things shook out, the fact that Konami was letting go of Kojima, someone who helped prop the company's reputation up and delivered one of its greatest successes with Metal Gear Solid, was enough to distrust it. Blocking Kojima's appearance at the Game Awards 2015. If it wasn't obvious enough at this point, Konami really didn't like Kojima. More evidence that the two weren't on good terms came at the Game Awards 2015 when the publisher blocked Kojima from accepting awards for Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Hilariously, this caused host Jeff Keighley, a friend of Kojima's, to reveal this to the world with fairly heavy boos to follow.
As you noticed, Hideo Kojima is not here with us tonight, and I want to tell you a little bit about that. Mr. Kojima had every intention of being with us tonight, but unfortunately he was informed by a lawyer representing Konami just recently that he would not be allowed to travel to tonight's awards ceremony to accept any awards.
FOB Insurance. While Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain received numerous accolades, it also faced some criticism for its plot holes and somewhat odd ending. Of course, Konami would add to this by incorporating scummy microtransactions into the game. One of those was Mother Base Insurance. It was for the Forward Operating Base, or FOB mode, where players could head online, infiltrate someone else's FOB, and steal materials to expand their own base. Didn't want someone stealing your stuff? Well, you could pay some MB coins, 50 coins per day, 300 coins per 2 weeks, with costs ranging from 99 cents to $49.99 for coin bundles for FOB Insurance, and you were set. Expiration date on MB coins. By the way, if you don't use those MB coins, they'll be useless after 6 months. That's right, Konami actually placed an expiration date on its microtransactions for Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. While this was mentioned around the launch itself and seemed restricted to Japanese players on Steam, the question still remains: why would anyone put an expiration date on currency obtained through microtransactions? Blacklisting former employees. Another Nikkei report revealed that if you left Konami, you were effectively blacklisted. Some sources noted that other developers were warned about taking on former Konami employees. One source bluntly said, if you leave the company, you cannot rely on Konami's name to land a job. There's also that bit about Konami director Kimihiko Higashio rejecting the application of Kojima Productions employees for ITS Kinpo, of which Higashio happens to be the chairman, preventing them from accessing health insurance. Reportedly, this was done at the behest of Konami. After all, why would it possibly want its former employees to access such luxuries as health insurance? Metal Gear Survive. Ah yes, Konami's attempt to utilize the Metal Gear legacy while pandering to survival and zombie tropes. While a survival-style Metal Gear title isn't the worst idea in theory, it was ruined by how the hunger and thirst mechanics constantly nagged at the player. The zombies themselves highlighted the awful combat and boring gameplay loop. And of course, it had microtransactions including additional character slots that could be purchased for $10. Ignoring Castlevania, Suikoden, Silent Hill, and other franchises. Leaving aside the disappointing Castlevania Lords of Shadows 2, which was handled by Mercury Steam, Konami saw no interest in carrying forward the franchise, especially after so many successful 2D adventures. The same could be said for franchises like Suikoden and Silent Hill. An attempt was made to revive the latter, but sadly, it didn't pan out. Canceling Silent Hills. Silent Hill had been a franchise with more disappointments than successes in recent memory. Homecoming, Downpour, Book of Memories, it seemed that Konami had forgotten everything that made the first 4 games so successful. Then it revealed PT in 2014, a teaser demo for the upcoming Silent Hills co-directed by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro. It was incredible, even if it didn't reflect the final game. Unfortunately, following the publisher's tiff with Kojima, Silent Hills was cancelled and the PT demo removed from download. No major AAA games, aside from PES. Last but certainly not least is Konami's current development schedule. Konami's only real AAA gaming franchise is Pro Evolution Soccer. So what was the last non-PES AAA title released in the past 18 months or so? Metal Gear Survive, which is a blemish on the series' name. But hey, at least Contra Rogue Core is coming up soon, so hooray for that. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.